If you're familiar with iPads or handwritten note-taking, you'll probably be aware that the gold standard for note-taking apps is the iPad. But for those of you that decide not to get an Apple device for whatever reason, your options become pretty limited, or at least they used to be. In the past few years, there has been the release of a few Android Chromebook devices with stylus support, but there's no point in having stylus support if you don't have good apps to utilize them. So I'm going to try and test every popular free handwriting note-taking app on the Play Store and the Chrome Web Store to see if there's anything that may have the potential to be a worthy alternative to Apple's current options. I'm going to try and talk a little bit about what I like about each one, what I feel the drawbacks are, and then drop my 3 favorite ones at the end. I may have missed something you really like, but I feel like I got the ones most people use, and there may have been some paid options that perform better, but you can tell from the free versions if they would actually be viable. Now let's get into it. Okay, so the apps I actually tested were Squid, Incred, Google Keep, Onenote, Bamboo Paper, Write, Zoho Notebook, Write, Keep My Notes, Sticky Notes, Note, Evernote, and FireNote. So let's break down each one. Okay, so Squid was the first one up. Squid itself had low latency, it was easy to adjust the colors and thickness, it had pressure sensitivity out of the box, it also had palm rejection, which was good, and keep in mind this is a trial version, so the full featured version may have more features. It had nice page lines for writing, which some people may enjoy, and notes were easy to find in the browser, with a preview page to see what you wrote. I had high hopes for Incred, but erasing was a bit laggy and slow, and it didn't have finger or palm rejection, so I kept rubbing marks on the page while I was writing, which was annoying. Writing itself was okay, but I wouldn't use this because of the lack of palm rejection. Now Google Keep is my go-to at the moment, so there's a bit of bias, and I already had plenty of notes at the moment. Its latency was good and manageable, it has pressure sensitivity, it's easy to switch between colors and arrays, it has scrollable pages which go on forever, which I like, but some people may not enjoy that. The Chrome Web Store version is well optimized for tablet use, and it's an all-round great app. It doesn't have any optical character recognition, but it does sync quickly across devices, and you can also categorize notes based on labels for each topic, which is handy. OneNote. OneNote is by far the best organized app for the notes on Android, and it's easy to keep track of everything. The writing itself is a little laggy, and it doesn't have pressure sensitivity. It's easy to erase and adjust the color and thickness. Although the writing experience isn't the best, being able to have OneNote with all your other notes and the organization system is a big benefit of this app. Bamboo Paper. Bamboo Paper really surprised me and had a very enjoyable writing experience. The writing was fluid and it was easier to adjust colors and pen types. It only had 3 thickness settings, however, which can be bad or good depending on how much you want to use the exact thickness. It also had pressure sensitivity. Organization is good on this as well, with notebooks for each topic and the option to have different types of ruled lines. Write was okay. I didn't enjoy the outdated design and the slow erasing situation. Lag on it was good, but it was annoying to switch between pen types. It did have pressure sensitivity and palm rejection, however, but the organization system wasn't very good either, so this overall wasn't a very good app. The next up was Zoho Notebook. I had a really hard time with Zoho Notebook trying to get the right black color, and it was a little confusing at the start, but after I found out you could preview the color and the pen in a little window, it made more sense. Erasing was good, but it didn't delete the entire character, which I like. It also didn't have palm rejection, so this one's out of the race. Write just pooed itself on boot up on my Chromebook, so let's just keep going. Keep My Notes was next up, and it had good latency, but erasing was a pain and it was difficult to switch between colors, and it wasn't as easy to change the thickness quickly. And it also didn't have pressure sensitivity and no ability to sync. The notes were arranged as generic rows, so it was a bit difficult to preview what you actually wrote and to find things that you were looking for. Sticky Notes was next up, and it booted up with an ad for the Apple App Store as soon as I opened it, so Android was kind of laughing at me for making this video. The app itself isn't really for serious note taking, just writing a few small notes. Latency was okay. It didn't have pressure sensitivity and it only had 4 generic colors. The note is a fixed size, so you can't extend it, which some people might like, and you can't sync with it. But it did have a preview image on each note, which is a nice touch. Number 11, Note. Note looked promising, but it quickly fell apart after it started recognizing my palm. That alone was a deal breaker for me, and I was getting pretty sick of it at this point. Other than that, the writing experience was okay and erasing and color reproduction was nice. It also had a fixed A4 page length. Evernote. When I booted up the Evernote Android app, it got stuck on the loading screen, so I tried the Chrome Web Store app, which worked. Now, because many people already use Evernote, I thought it was exciting that they've begun developing handwriting support, but it's still a laggy mess and notes were not usable at all. But I guess if you write notes extremely rarely and use Evernote all the time, you might want to try this, but at its current state, I definitely don't recommend it. And last but probably also least is Note. It uses optical character recognition to convert handwriting to text, but it didn't understand me at all, like my ex-girlfriend, and was a laggy mess. So after all my testing, I'm gonna have to say the winner is, surprise surprise, Google Keep. It's what I use at the moment, and the sync capability along with the ease of use and low latency makes a really good Android/Chromebook note-taking app. Bamboo Paper was second. It had the most enjoyable writing experience of them all and was my favourite to write on. It was very close between this and Squid, but Bamboo Paper won it out for me. And number 3, OneNote was my third favourite, simply because it's something that so many people already use, so it's familiar and can sync easily across many devices, especially if you use a Windows computer as well. So there you have it. My test of all the current popular note-taking apps and what I enjoy and prefer to use on Android/Chromebook. Hope you have a good day. This is Cher.